Hello, my friend. I'm so excited for Body Safety Crew come together. So this video is me taking another crack at defining embodied safety. And so we'll see, let me know your questions and curiosities, interests, whatever comes up from this. But I want to take another crack at defining it, and we'll keep, keep taking more and more turns at that. So, embodied safety, what is it? Well, for now, the way I'm defining it is embodied safety is a paradigm and a living practice for self-generating safety, personally, relationally, and collectively. So I'm going to break down some of those words in a moment, but I'll just write them down. So paradigm, living practice. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, okay. So paradigm. Living practice. And paradigm and a living practice. And then I had 3 different sites. So also self-generating, generating, self-generating, self-generating. We said personally, relationally, and collectively. So for now, we just think of that as individual, one-to-one, and in a group. So, boom. Line of communication and connection there. And then group. Could be any number of people. Boom. Okay. That looks like a house sideways. Okay. So I'll break down those words in a little bit, but I want to start by asking you a question, which is, what is safety for you? What is safety for you right now? So you may already, from the workshops and things, have adopted some of this, but just for now, with whatever's true for you in this moment, what is safety for you? So take a moment, pause this, please, and write it down. Write down your definition. What is safety for you? And come back once you've done that. Okay. So you've written down what's safety for you. So now take a look at what you wrote and ask yourself, does your current way of understanding safety give you a pathway to the experience of safety? Does it give you a pathway? Does it facilitate you? Does it make it easy and clear how to experience safety? Or is it murky and confusing? So that's one. Another thing to look at as you look at that definition is, where is safety or unsafety located in your definition? Right? Where does it actually occur? Is it located in a concept, an abstract concept? Is it located in space somewhere, like a physical space? Is it located in someone else's behavior? Is it located inside your body? Is it located, in other words, where is it located in space-time reality? Or is it located in space-time reality? Another question, is it do something aboutable? Right? Is safety in your definition do something aboutable? So, what I notice is that when you ask most people what safety is for them, they'll tell you a concept, right? Which is basically, it is usually a secondhand idea that they picked up from somewhere most of the time. Especially for something like this, where people don't often even ask, how are we even defining it? If it's so important, I think it's probably a good idea to define it. So, most folks I find answer that question from the mind. Safety is X concept, right? It's a concept. And yet, what is it that we're really after here, right? feeling safe, right? Experiencing it, right? Like, you never hear anybody say, in that situation, I wish that I had an abstract idea, a concept of safety, right? Like, no, like, you never hear that. They say, I wish I felt safe. I wish I had a feeling of safety. So, so I want to just invite you to take a moment and discover this fresh moment that you're in right now. Right? So you might be sitting or standing or lying down. You're in some specific place, like a room, or maybe you're outside, I don't know. Some specific time, the time of day, and you're watching this video. Hello. So just notice for you, for right now, what does safety feel like for you right now? Discovering it. For me, it's the pressure of my feet against the ground. It's the warmth in my heart. It's the quality of spaciousness above and below, to the left and right, in front and behind me. It's the quality of calmness that I sense, that I experience in the space around, beyond my skin. A couple of these things, right? So from an embodied safety viewpoint, safety, of course, is an experience. So the question naturally arises, how can this experience be created? Well, at any given moment, we're either solo, we're with another person, or we're in a group of people, right? One of those configurations. 1, 2, multiple. So, this question, how can I experience safety in these 3 contexts? And, second question, is there anything that I can do to help others experience safety in these contexts, right? So those are the 2 questions that embodied safety is designed to answer. How do we answer it? We answer it by practicing. Go back to the living practice, by practicing embodied safety skills. And if you're at the workshop, one of the workshops, we talked about the 5 skills. And those are choice, agency, trust, capacity, and coherence. So 5 foundational skills, of which there are sub-skills, of course. So you'll see all those on the syllabus. And so in this paradigm, safety is an experience that can be generated by embodying specific skills under pressure. So I'm not talking about as something that is abstracted from the context is in fact the opposite of that. We're not going into abstraction. We're working directly with our contexts, which include pressures and stressors. So, and what that means really then is that at a really high level of mastery with these skills, that means that regardless of the pressures or stressors occurring in the present, safety can be experienced. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, and just thinking about that, this is my biased opinion, of course, but to me, being able to create safety under pressure is, that's my biased opinion, that it's like the most valuable skill that we can cultivate, like the ultimate skill, right? The big domino, I call it, right? Because imagining what would be possible for you if you knew you could self-generate safety regardless of the situation, regardless of the pressures, stressors, anything occurring, even extreme ones, right? What would I'm just like, this is the thing. What would our world look like if masses of people had these skills, right? You see what I'm saying? Just brighten this up a little bit. There we go. Right? So an example, just thinking about, this is a huge collective stressor. Climate changes, right? Tremendous collective stressor. Imagine folks embodying these skills. That would mean that they would no longer be going into all of the strategies which look like denying, either on the one hand, denying, right, what's occurring, turning away from collective pressures. So that's on the one hand, or on the other hand, saying, yeah, okay, we see it, but panicking, right? Responding from a place of panicking, or, yeah, I see it, but I'm shutting down. I'm so overwhelmed by my experience of noticing and facing that what is, that I'm no longer fully connected to myself and able to engage with it. So, but instead of those responses on either side, self-generating safety, right? Self-generating a deeper safety, and facing what is from an authentic, centered place, right? Honoring the whole of our human experience and addressing it with grace, right? Just imagining that life, yeah. So be it. So be it. So that's the wave we're on, right? That's the evolutionary wave right here. So let's return to that initial definition that I offered, right? Embodied safety as a paradigm and a living practice for self-generating safety personally, relationally, and collectively. So what's a paradigm? A paradigm in this context, it's a set of concepts for how to look at safety in a way that, and in this case, in a way that actually facilitates a path towards experiencing it. Just looking at safety a bit differently. And here's another big word. I call it a phenomenological paradigm. So what is that? The phenomena, the happenings, what's actually occurring, which means that it's based on the felt experience of safety, not in the idea of safety. So, yeah, that was clear. So we're making the move here from top down to bottom up. I'm going to write that down. So, top down Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can see it. So it's not quite a straight line, of course, with bottom-up phenomena. So what does that mean? So instead of saying safety is X, right? So I should or shouldn't. Safety is this concept. So I should or shouldn't feel safe here, which is basically the mind telling the body what to do, how to be. We're orienting from a curious learner orientation, and we ask ourselves freshly in this moment, what does safety feel like right now? What is my experience? What's the phenomena? What is my experience in this actual moment? And how do I interpret the signals that I'm getting, right? So in that, our bodies teach our brains. You could say it that way to simplify it. So in this way, we also move from abstract to concrete. So, right, the abstract idea of safety. And so just think about that. It's really important, safety. I mean, like, notebook is filled with it. It's so important. And if we're clinging to it as a concept, as opposed to being with what is actually concrete and real in our experience, like, we're actually, it's kind of like this, like chasing after something that isn't on the level at which is actually occurring. So of course it would continue to perpetuate. And so we want to move to a concrete experience because that's specific, it's clear, it's trackable, it's reflective of the now. For me, it just feels like it's true. It's what is. So moving from abstract to concrete. And then I also said it's a living practice, right? In other words, very much alive, inspired, fresh application from moment to moment, right? And just going back to that imagining of that world, right, with the skills. So when we apply what we learn through these skills, we can experience safety now, even under pressure. And why that's so huge? Whatever we're experiencing now is the soup that we're creating from, right? So generally I find that our thoughts, emotions, sensations, behaviors, there is an alignment that wants to come, a harmony that wants to happen there. Usually they resonate with each other, right? Like the fearful thought, the fear emotion, and heart beating fast, sweating, these kinds of things, right? Or I feel at peace, and then there's these feelings and thoughts that go with it, right? I mean, it's like if you tried to speak with grace while you're having all these fear-based thoughts and your heart's racing, it's right, it would be very difficult, so because it doesn't match. So if we have a chance at creating more safety in the world, my orientation here is that it's gonna come from the experience of safety, right? And then that experience generating more of the same experiences, more inspired ideas, more safety ideas, right? That actually come from that place, and duplicating and on evolution. So that's my belief, that it is the ones with the know-how, and we've talked about this, not just the knowledge, the know-how, to create the experience of safety under pressure, who will be the ones to expand safety. So That's it. That's us, my friend, and that's what we're generating here together. That's the evolutionary wave that we're on. That's my first crack. Well, guess I did in the workshop, but that's another crack at defining embodied safety, and hope it serves, and more to come.